From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, March 15th. A few sprinkles this morning are moving on out quickly. Sunshine moves in. We'll get to the low to mid-60s today. IMPD believes the suspect in a triple shooting targeted an East Side apartment. That's where the Amber Woods apartments are near 38th and Midhofer. They found a man and two women shot. Police say one woman is in serious condition but is said to be stable. Police say the other two victims are stable. IMPD says it appears the suspect fired shots into the apartment from the outside. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Carlton Smith at 317-327-3475. In Whitley County, state police are trying to figure out how a man died after finding his body on the side of the road. State police say a trooper found 30-year-old Curtis Thomas dead yesterday afternoon. Police say Thomas's body was in a ditch off County Road 700 East, just north of State Road 14. An autopsy is set for later this week. Police say Thomas's death is suspicious. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Fort Wayne Post at 260-432-8661. And a man is under arrest for a shooting that happened earlier this month. IMPD says officers arrested Julius Thomas Sunday for murder and robbery. The shooting happened March 6th on Ingram Street near I-70. Officers found a man in critical condition. Medics took him to the hospital, but he didn't survive.
That whenever I see someone just speeding along is like there could be a kid just right around the corner.
I see a number of cars just blow through the stoplights.
Neighbors along parts of East Washington Street say they are on high alert. They claim the stretch of road that runs through Irvington and the east side is dangerous after several accidents. The latest left a man dead Sunday after a hit and run at Washington Street and Short Ridge Road.
I don't really think it matters all that much that it's not happening in the same spot or even in the same neighborhood. If it's happening along the same street, it seems to be a problem.
One solution some neighbors have fought for is bringing the blue line through Irvington with the hopes it will slow people down. Police are still looking for the driver in Sunday's hit and run. They think the suspect drove an older model Ford F-150. If you have any information, you're asked to contact IMPD. And to the war in Ukraine, the United Nations says more than 3 million people have fled the country. Russia edges closer to central Kyiv with a series of strikes. A home and apartment building were hit. Ukrainian authorities say at least one person died. Others are trapped inside. The western city of Mariupol is also seeing more destruction. Inside Russia, an open show of defiance is getting worldwide attention. It happened during a newscast of the county state-run television network. An editor at the network walked behind the presenter holding a sign. Translated the messages, "No war, stop the war, do not believe propaganda. They tell you lies here." Russian news outlets say that this woman is under arrest. Her attorney says he cannot find her. Monday's talks between Ukraine and Russian diplomats led to no breakthroughs and an early pause. They say they'll talk again this week. One of Vladimir Putin's longtime critics is speaking out. Vladimir Carmel says he has survived 2 assassination attempts for his opposition. He says the only way to stop the conflict is to get Putin out of power.
We know who this man is. He has been in power now for more than 22 years. He has murdered, he has imprisoned, he has attacked Russia's own civil society, he has attacked other countries, he has muzzled independent media, and now we are seeing the humanitarian catastrophe that he's unleashing in the middle of Europe.
Ukrainian officials say a pregnant woman wounded in an attack at a maternity hospital has now died. Pictures of the woman on a stretcher have become one of the most recognizable images of the war. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is scheduled to address Congress tomorrow. He'll appear through a video link inside the U.S. Capitol to talk about the crisis. The Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis is collecting donations to provide aid to any Ukrainian who needs it. The local federation is joining others across the country to support humanitarian efforts. Money will be used for transportation, housing, setting up Wi-Fi hotspots, and other resources on the ground.
The community is being oppressed, especially violently like they are in Ukraine, that we will do whatever we can to help.
So far, the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis has raised $130,000 in just a few days, and the fundraiser is still open. And today, the Indiana Hoosiers get their shot at making the field of 64. The first 4 games of the NCAA tournament tips off in Dayton. IU is a 12 seed, so is the opponent, Wyoming. The winner plays 5th-seeded St. Mary's in Portland on Thursday. Indiana Sports Talk Radio host Dan Dockich talked with the matchup with our Phil Sanchez last night on Unfiltered.
I thought, you know what, going to go play in Dayton. That's terrific. A lot of IU fans can get over there. You're playing against a 4th-place team in the Mountain West, and then you come back and play a 2nd-place team, from another non-power division. I got to tell you, Phil, I'm happy about this as an IU guy. I really am.
Purdue plays Yale on Friday in the first round. That game tips off at 2 in Milwaukee. Our sports team has you covered all week. Olivia Ray will be in Milwaukee covering the Boilermakers. Sports director Anthony Calhoun heads to Dayton for the Hoosiers and Notre Dame games. You can look for their live reports beginning today on Wish TV at News 8 at 5 o'clock. And you can join in on the fun of March Madness by signing up Wish TV's basketball bracket bonanza. This year's grand prize is valued at $1,000, including a new 4K TV and a party to go with it. You can sign up 2 ways. When you're watching Wish TV, you oftentimes will see these QR codes pop up. During this story, when you're watching our newscast, you can scan that code. You can also, if you just want to go there right now, head to wishtv.com, fill out your bracket. You got to do it before the first round starts Thursday. And you can see how you can stack up against members of our News 8 team as you're on that quest to win the grand prize. And more star power from the past is joining the Colts coaching staff. Hall of Fame finalist Reggie Wayne is the team's all-time leader in games played. He's now the team's wide receivers coach. He'll join Cato June and Mike Mitchell as past players who return as coaches next season. Shrinkflation is growing. Both the use of the word and what it means are catching on. Shrinkflation is a term used when companies make products smaller to deal with the cost increases. For instance, the makers of Doritos acknowledged to the news outlet Quartz that there are fewer chips in a bag, and the maker of Wheat Thin says there are fewer crackers in a box. The practice has grown during the last year of steep inflation. The word appears to date back just more than a decade. Merriam-Webster says it first appeared in a book called Econoclasts. Carmel's director of diversity and equity tells ITMate that his firing is over discrimination. Dr. Timothy Knight started in January and was fired last week. Knight says he was fired for insubordination and had no warning. He thinks it happened because of his desire to bring more diverse voices into the workplace.
What we do know in homogenized groups, people tend to act in ways that give little consideration for people outside of their group.
Knight says he has reached out to the Indiana Civil Rights Commission with hopes that it will investigate the matter. ITMate reached out to Carmel's mayor, Jim Brainerd. A spokesperson says it is policy to not discuss individual personal issues, but that the city strives to be fair in all its employee decisions and hire the best people for each position, regardless of race. Dr. Knight's supervisor chose to terminate Dr. Knight. Decatur Township schools are hosting several career fairs in hopes of attracting substitute teachers. The district says it's working with staffing company Kelly Education in hopes of hiring 40 subs to help out district-wide. The superintendent says the teacher supply in Indiana is being squeezed by fewer interested college graduates. According to Kelly Education, it can take 5 to 14 days for someone to become a substitute teacher. The positions offer things like flexible scheduling, free ongoing classroom management training, and health care. The next career fair is tonight at the Moorhead Community Center from 5:30 to 7:30. The Elkhart City Council will use more than $1 million of federal COVID-19 stimulus money to repair a historic theater. The Lerner Theater will get a new heating and cooling system. It was originally installed during the theater's renovation 11 years ago. The Elkhart Truth reports 7 of the theater's 10 rooftop units are not currently working. The City Council approved the project by an 8-1 vote last week. A tragic accident involving a train and a grain truck led to a man's death in Centerville. Police say 61-year-old Daryl King was filling a tractor trailer with grain. Authorities say the noise of the grain likely kept King from noticing there was a train approaching. The train hit the truck, which knocked King down. Police say the grain truck then overflowed, burying King, killing him. A priest in Carmel is suspended from public ministry. The Diocese of Lafayette says Father James Diorio has been accused of inappropriate conduct with a minor. He was last serving at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. According to the diocese, an investigation is underway following reports to Indiana Child Protective Services. If you have any information on misconduct by Diorio, you're asked to call CPS or the Diocese of Lafayette. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com And follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.